Hello guys, it is World Gamer and we are back with part 2 of rating minigames from RB Battles Season 3, the new lobby. And I do have something to say here. In 21st place is Treasure Hunt. It lacks a lot of gameplay. All you really do is just shovel and it's kind of just a clicking simulator. And it's practically luck. I don't think I can give any excuses to put this higher. Yeah, so I revoked the placement of Treasure Hunt here. It will no longer be number 21 and is not going to be in the front half of this list, or the back half, as you could say, since it's in the back. It will now be in this part in the later on numbers. Without further ado then, let's get right into the rankings. In 13th place is Floopy Bird. Now, I will give credit to where it's due for this game. It is the first single player game on the list, or at least the first game that can be played in single player, because the rest of them requires a little bit of combat and some opponents. But this one, you could just play on your own. Well, it's much more fun with enemies, but you can play it on your own. It doesn't require opponents to win. So yeah, but the thing about this is it's not much gameplay. It's literally just Flappy Bird. It's creative, but that's why it's in the middle of this list. And for our next placement, wow, I gotta stop doing this, but we have another tie. And this time it's between Cosmic Cards and Bubble Bowling. So, what makes these mini games connected? Well, they both are based on overtaking your opponents. In Bubble Bowling, you have to strategically place your bubbles in order to connect it to other placed bubbles, even from your opponent's bubbles, and you can connect it from those and earn points for each bubble you've connected. And in Cosmic Cards, basically you're just racing, but you can still overtake them by getting these lucky blocks or whatever to gain power-ups, literally just Super Mario Kart. So, I like the creativity in Bubble Bowling, but the vibe in Cosmic Cards, I just can't let go of that. So, I really can't decide, but personally I do believe that Cosmic Cards is a little overrated. I think too many people like this minigame, and I think Bubble Bowling deserves more love. But based on gameplay perspective, they are basically the same. You cannot deny that. Our first game in the top 10 is Battle King. Now, Battle King on the surface, it sounds like a interesting minigame. You have swapping juggernauts, and you have different attacks that you can use as this king or just a peasant that's trying to destroy the king and become the king. And it's very interesting and it's well balanced, I must say. You have the king who's a little slower than the people on the floor, but they have stronger attacks as they can literally fling you across the map, whilst as a person on the ground, you just do one hard to them. But, I mean, it's all fair. I mean, when you have 5 people coming up at you, it doesn't really seem that fair to have this small attack to push them away. So, I think they do a great job balancing the game, but I do think there's a little sprinkle of luck in there because basically the whole game is just in the beginning, spam Q or whatever button it is on mobile, dash quickly to the orb, become king or lose the orb by mere inches, either defeat the king by hiding inside their body and spam clicking them, or as a king, immediately just jump up and then start spamming buttons. I feel like no one takes into account that there's an actual strategy to this game, and they kind of just spam buttons and try to just win the game by becoming king over and over and over and over again. They don't really care about actually staying as king. So really the whole part where it's the king trying to attack the people, that's kind of irrelevant when they're just waiting to die so they can snatch the king orb again. And again, there's no strategy really used or commonly used, and I just think it's a bit of a mess from that perspective. It's balanced, but not that strategic, and that's why it's in number 10. In ninth place is maybe an unsuspecting game, Lava Escape. I don't know if it's gonna be number 1.
To get to the top of the volcano.
It might.
But don't fall into the...
It most definitely was not. Now, you may be surprised because I've made a video about this and I've emphasized some things about this mini game, and you would think it would be my favorite just because of the amount of times I've replayed it. However, what I'm looking for is gameplay, and what this delivers is just a simple obby with the new movement abilities, which the new movement abilities are cool, and we cannot deny that. But just slapping an obby onto it with rising lava, like, and that's all. I don't think that would be very fun. And also how the obby may be difficult. I don't think it's that difficult, but it could be difficult. Who knows? Only a mobile player knows, actually. In 8th place is going to be Ball Boop. Specifically Team Ball Boop, because I've never really played the regular free-for-all version of Ball Boop. But the issue I have with Team Ball Boop is it's a team minigame. And so, again, you kind of have to rely on your teammates to help you. Otherwise, you're just going to be triple teamed on. Totally didn't happen to me. And you're just going to be targeted until you get down to 1 life while the rest of them are at 3 lives or at 2 because they somehow managed to mess up and roll off the platform. Always the funniest moment. But, yeah, that's really the only issue I have with Ball Boop, but the rest of it, pretty good. I like how you actually have to use precision when using the boost. Nothing much to comment, really. But, again, doesn't fit that high standard of the top 5. In 7th place, Boulder Run, a classic minigame that suffers from the high standard because in the spots of 6 through 1, you're going to see that Boulder Run doesn't have as near of great gameplay that the other ones have. It's still a good mini game, and it's a I think this is probably one of the best ones for single player, but I think just since season 2 it's been outmatched. In 6th place, the minigame just shy of top 5, it's Barrel Blast. This is a new minigame for RB Battles, and it's basically kind of just Plinko, and you have to get all the orbs, and there's pink ones that give you extra points and all that, and it requires aim and accuracy, so it already sounds like a good minigame, doesn't it? And it's also very creative, I cannot lie about that either. Unfortunately, I just don't feel the motive to put this higher just because I don't think it puts a lot of influence on the people who play RB Battles, and I've never seen anyone actually want to play Barrel Blast. I do like the game style though, it's unfortunately not enough for the top 5, and I wish I could say it had that high standard, but it's just shy of it, unfortunately. To begin the top 5, in 5th place is Bomber Battle. Now, this seems like normal gameplay, so what makes this minigame so special? Because all it really seems like is a grid, and you're given bombs, and you just explode walls, and you have to catch up to other players, and you gotta explode them, and you gotta trap them, and all that. What I like about this game is that they make luck into what is just regular gameplay. And what I mean by that is in the map there are hidden power-ups that give you advantages to winning, but those are found by randomly exploding blocks, and you'll find them randomly, and hopefully you'll just be able to get them fast enough before you engage with other people. And so it's an interesting concept how they made luck into this type of looting for power-ups and to win. And so it becomes that point where you start to like the luck because first of all, the luck is not terrible. It's not that spread out. So you can still be unlucky and have some advantages. But second of all, it makes the game more engaging. The problem with the other mini games that I called luck is that when they had luck, you felt like you had no control over your actions. But in this game, this type of luck helps you win the game, and you can control the luck and how you win the game. And I love that concept, and that is exactly why it's in top 5. Near perfect gameplay and the way they use luck. At number 4 is Train Trouble, another new mini game to RB Battles. Now, the reason this is at number 4 is it's accessible through single player, meaning that as one person you can still play this and you basically have the same gameplay experience as in multiplayer, except that you're not facing opponents, which is a reason that it got a pretty huge boost. And it is also pretty creative, and when it becomes very fast paced, you're basically on the edge of your seat hoping that a laser is not coming from the direction that you are in. And you're just on edge avoiding every laser you can as they just keep shooting at you. It's very fun. It's all in the heat of the moment, and that's why I love it. Here are the current standings from 24 to 4. Here come the top 3, but soak this in for now. Now in 3rd place, the minigame that was originally in 4th to last is now 3rd to 1st. That is Treasure Hunt. Now I know in the past I had a lot of critique for this, saying it was a clicking simulator, it was luck, it had few strategy points, but now that I look over the game and that I've been told that there is a secret system where the darker the sand, the more common the key will spawn there. I think this is actually one of the smartest games here just because you actually had to use your brain to figure that out, first of all. Second, about the strategy, I did mention how you did need to plan out when you're starting to dig and then when you leave the digging point and unlock the chest to get the doubloons. And looking back, this is all such a creative system and it deserves to be mentioned. I know I said that it was practically a useless minigame, but now I think it's underrated, honestly. It has a secret minigame that requires you to think to find it. it requires you to also steal from your opponents, and you're all in the heat of the moment trying to find these keys, and you're worried that you won't have enough keys. It's all amazing, and I can't believe I missed this 4 days ago. I am so sorry. But yeah. In second place, Cannon Cove. I do think this is the second most underrated minigame in RB Battles, mainly because you can actually aim at other people. Even if you suck at aiming and maybe you're on mobile too, the game literally leads you to the other person when you're next to them at least and lets you aim at them. Isn't that perfect? Now I know some of you are going to be like, well, I want to aim at the other ship. Well, I mean, you could also be complaining that you're bad at that too. So, how about we don't say that? But anyways, I also like this because you can actually bounce the projectile off of other crates and you can explode gears. That just makes epic trick shot moments. But yeah, this is definitely one of the fun mini games. Maybe even the best experience a mini game can give. And finally, only one mini game left. The number one spot, Leaky Laboratory. The winner of this ranking, but more description on this minigame. It is one of the newer minigames for RB Battles 3, and it's basically an obby, but it introduces a lot more elements like the little part that only appears for 5 seconds until it disappears, so you have to react quick. Conveyors, I never knew that conveyors were not added to obbies, but apparently they weren't. And some other cool stuff too, but I think what makes me like this the most is the surprise at the end, where when you press the button, the acid comes rising back up, and it's like, wait, what is happening the first time you do it? But once you get the nail of it, it's like, boom, got it. But this will forever be my favorite because, first of all, you can do this alone, and second of all, it's fun to watch as the acid just comes closer to you and you just taunt it by jumping late. I don't know why that's fun, but it is. So yeah, that is my favorite minigame out of all minigames here. If you like the video, then like the video. Comment down below what your favorite minigames are, and subscribe for more RB Battles content. That is it for me. Peace. Found all the bits and crafted the instruments just in time. Then you flew with winner's wings, all blue and purple with sparkling light. Then the final battle commenced, and there all our troubles stood. Hopefully you finish top 30 to get that hero's hood.